So, Pete, could you explain the process you typically follow when you're working with a client who is in their peak earning years and has just received maybe a large inheritance?
Yeah, inheritances are a tricky thing. There's been a lot of rule changes in the last several years, and that really creates some implications as far as taxes. So what you're saying is peak earning years. If you inherit a IRA in particular, you have to make withdrawals from that IRA by the end of the 10th year after the person dies, after the decedent. And so now all of a sudden, you probably have one of the largest assets. So an IRA is typically one of the largest assets a person owns these days, other than maybe their house. And in many cases, I'd say that their retirement account's larger. So you have this large sum of money that comes out very rapidly in your peak earning years. And all of a sudden, you've got some pretty significant taxable income on a situation where you're already paying your highest taxes that you're going to pay in your lifetime. So one is we want to try to stretch that out over 10 years as much as we possibly can. If we can, take a minimal amount early, and maybe you're going to be retiring soon after the inheritance, you're going to have a different picture at that point. We also want to, though, talk to the person who might be passing that asset on sooner rather than having the conversation with the person who's going to inherit it later. And for that reason, we really want to talk about how we're going to get taxed at that point and what we can do before they pass away. So the conversation kind of go two ways. One is you're stuck with a problem after you inherit money, and how do you deal with it? I'd say we really want to try to get into it on the front end and see how can we prevent that from happening with the client who's going to ultimately be passing that asset along. As you can see, things can get really complicated, and it takes a conversation to find out what's best for your personal situation. We're happy to start a conversation with you. Find us at gootfinancial.com and go to Contact Us, and we're happy to set up a 30-minute call just to learn about your situation and start to answer some of your big questions.